Hello and welcome to Minecraft. Today I'm going to talk to you about dynamic builds and how you can improve your builds by incorporating some of the ideas featured in this video. So first off, let's look at what we have to start off with. As a member of the VoxelBox, I regularly explore the server in search of new things and come across many towns and cities dotted along the way. I also look around Quercus, the guest building area, to see what new talent we have arriving on Pangaea, and I find that a lot of towns look very similar. I mean, towns tend to stick to the same fashion of putting a big building in the middle, laying plots around it, and then getting people to build in those plots. You know, with a mixture of residential and commercial buildings or districts, maybe a port on the side, perhaps a lock or a dam. That's basically the structure most Minecraft towns take these days, which is perfectly fine, by the way. Why would you not automatically think that way? I'm not hating on these towns at all, I'm just pointing out the fact that many towns are built on the same grid or layout pattern, structural design or colour scheme. And I've noticed buildings keeping to the typical themes of must be on the ground, have one or two floors, a flat roof, which is also perfectly fine. And I know this is going against the first episode, but they're just becoming a bit monotonous. You asked me to review your house, and I already have a good idea of what it will look like. This, in some cases, is a bad thing, so it's better for me to have no clue about what I'm going to see, so the build will put forward the builder's creativity more strongly and overall improve the design. Basically, towns and cities are starting to look the same in my eyes, notch towns being a perfect example, might I add, and buildings are still sticking to the same formula of real-life scenarios. But that's where dynamic builds come in. Adding something dynamic to your town or building makes it stand out, it makes it pop. Such examples of dynamic things you can include in your builds are trees, which are always a great way to add non-symmetry and provide variety, movement and life to a static building or town. You could add organic structures, which can be counted as builds in their own right in some cases, but can very much be used in conjunction with architectural styles like this flower on top of the rainforest restaurant of the town of Shinsei Seki. Varying the skyline, adding buildings of different heights, perhaps a mast or a mill, a tower, a dam from sea level to bedrock, something that changes the horizon line above or below your city. Instead of building an airship, build an airship exploding. A train station, build an actual train inside it, smoke, steam and everything. To improve the dynamism of your organic structures, you could build in an unusual pose, like running or jumping if it's a creature perhaps, a dragon about to take off or turning its head in curiosity. This fox, simply with a paw raised and its tail curled, provides some sort of dynamic, rather than a static, symmetrical pose. Organics will be covered in the next how to build video if you're wondering how you are even going to start building such things. In terms of town and city structure and planning, there are various methods that you can apply. Sure, you could start off by building your most grand structure in the centre and proceed to place plots around it, or you could build it in a dynamic environment on a cliff or a valley, moulding the landscape around you. High-rise bridges crossing vast crevices or deep tunnels lit perfectly by the sun's rays and underground lava flows. There are many dynamic towns and cities already on the VoxelBox. If you ever get the opportunity to tour it, perhaps taking the advantage of one of our open days, and they provide great inspiration for you to take from them. Take Clifton for example. Jomega, the architect, hasn't changed the landscape one bit since discovering these naturally formed mountains, and his city has emerged as an amazing place to explore, full of varying heights, architecture, engineering and Easter eggs. The possibilities are endless. You just have to think of them before you set off, because you'll get carried away with the flatland and plots if you don't. So there are a few thoughts and tips about how to improve your build dynamics. Stay tuned for the next episode, in which I'll be talking about organic builds, and then after that we'll have one possibly about colour palettes, so there's lots to look forward to. And it's good if I actually say what's coming up in the future, because it will coerce me to make them. Bit of self-motivation right there. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time.